Welcome to YouTube Unlocked. Today we're diving into the top 10 most powerful countries in the world as of 2025. Now, you might think this is just another boring top 10 list, but I assure you, ranking global superpowers is a lot like trying to rank your favorite internal organs. Sure, you might think you know which one's top dog, but take one away and suddenly you're having a very different conversation. Global power isn't just about flexing the biggest military muscles or having the shiniest nuclear toys. It's about economic influence, political leadership, technological advancement, and diplomatic reach. So buckle up, because we're about to break down the big dogs, the movers and shakers, the ones who make the rules and occasionally bend them until they snap in half. First up, we've got the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, the United States of America. Now, before you roll your eyes and start muttering about American exceptionalism, let's be clear. The US is like that friend who walks into a party and instantly becomes the center of attention. Sometimes it's because they're buying everyone drinks. Other times it's because they accidentally set the karaoke machine on fire. The point is, they command attention, even when they're trying to be inconspicuous, which, let's be honest, isn't very often. With a GDP that could make Scrooge McDuck blush and a military budget larger than the next several countries combined, the US still packs a serious punch. But let's not forget, even the top dog has its fleas. The US is grappling with internal divisions, political gridlock, and a foreign policy that sometimes resembles a bull in a china shop. They might be the reigning champ, but the competition is nipping at their heels, and frankly, they look a little bit winded. Next up, we've got China, the economic juggernaut that's basically the world's factory, tech incubator, and increasingly geopolitical heavyweight all rolled into one. Seriously, China's rise in the past few decades has been so meteoric it makes SpaceX launches look like leisurely hot air balloon rides. They've gone from making your cheap plastic toys to developing cutting-edge AI faster than you can say made in China. And with a population that's basically the entire population of Europe, North America, and Australia combined, they've got manpower to spare. China's not just playing the game anymore, they're rewriting the rule book. And let's be honest, they're doing it with a level of ambition and efficiency that would make even the most organized overachiever break out in a cold sweat. They're investing heavily in their military, building islands in the South China Sea faster than a toddler builds Lego towers. And their Belt and Road initiative is basically a global game of infrastructure, connect the dots. Some might call it aggressive expansionism. Others might call it shrewd diplomacy. Whatever you call it, one thing's for sure. China's not just at the table, they're building a bigger one, and they're inviting everyone, except maybe Taiwan. Russia, the land of enigmatic leaders, brutally cold winters, and enough natural resources to make even the most ardent environmentalists consider a career in fossil fuels. Russia's like that friend who shows up to a dinner party with a bottle of vodka and a look that says, "I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make an impression." They've got a nuclear arsenal that could make a mushroom cloud look like a fashion statement, and their military might is nothing to sneeze at. But let's be honest, Russia's real power lies in its ability to weaponize boredom. Their diplomatic negotiations are legendary for being about as exciting as watching paint dry in a Siberian winter, but that's kind of the point. They'll outweight you, outmaneuver you, and if all else fails, they'll just turn off the gas supply to your country until you come crawling back. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to talk about India, a country with more people than some continents, a history that dates back millennia, and an economy that's growing faster than a teenager in a buffet line. India is like that friend who shows up to a party fashionably late, but everyone's still thrilled to see them because they brought the best snacks, the most infectious laugh, and enough charisma to power a small city. They're a nuclear power. They've got Bollywood, and their tech industry is giving Silicon Valley a run for its money. Plus, they've got a space program that's literally reaching for the stars. But let's not forget, India is also a country of stark contrasts. They're not trying to be anyone else. They're not trying to fit in. They're just doing their own thing, and the world is watching it, captivated and maybe a little bit intimidated. Next up, we've got Germany, the economic powerhouse of Europe, the land of precision engineering, delicious bread, and A history that's, well, let's just say it's complicated. Germany is like that friend who always shows up on time, meticulously organized, with a well-thought-out plan for the evening. They're not here for drama, they're not here for surprises, they're here to get things done efficiently and effectively. They've got a knack for turning complex problems into solvable equations, and their economy is so robust it makes other countries green with envy. They might not be the life of the party, but they're the ones holding everything together, making sure the trains run on time and the beer flows freely. Ah, the United Kingdom, the land of tea, crumpets, and a stiff upper lip that's starting to tremble just a bit. Once upon a time, the sun never set on the British Empire. Now, well, they're just hoping it doesn't rain on their parade. The UK is like that friend who used to be the life of the party, the one with all the best stories, the infectious laugh, and a knack for getting away with things that would land anyone else in serious trouble. But lately they've been a bit quiet, a bit introspective, trying to figure out their place in a world that's changed dramatically since their glory days. They left the European Union, they're still grappling with the legacy of colonialism, and they're trying to maintain their global influence in a world that's increasingly multipolar. They might be a bit down on their luck, but they're not out of the game just yet. Next up, we're heading east to the land of the rising sun, a country where ancient traditions meet futuristic technology in a glorious clash of culture and innovation. Japan is like that quiet friend who sits in the corner at a party, observing everything, saying very little, but secretly judging your choice of footwear. They're the masters of efficiency, the kings of cool gadgets, and they've got a work ethic that would make a robot blush. They've got the world's third largest economy, they're technological innovators, and they're even leading the charge on things like robotics and artificial intelligence. But let's not forget, Japan is also a country facing some serious challenges. They've got an aging population, a shrinking workforce, and their economy has seen better days. They might be facing some headwinds, but they're facing them head-on, with a quiet determination that's both admirable and a little bit terrifying. Bonjour, mes amis, and welcome to France, the land of romance, revolution, and a certain je ne sais quoi that makes them both infuriating and irresistible. France is like that friend who shows up to a party dressed impeccably, with a bottle of expensive wine and an air of effortless sophistication. They'll charm you with their wit, impress you with their knowledge of art and culture, and then casually remind you that they were instrumental in helping America win its independence. They're a founding member of the European Union, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, and they've got a military that's nothing to sneeze at. But let's not forget, France is also a country grappling with social and economic challenges. They might be a bit dramatic, a bit set in their ways, but they're also fiercely independent, deeply cultured, and they make a damn fine croissant. Hold on to your kimchi, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of South Korea, a country that's gone from war-torn to tech titan in a few short decades. South Korea is like that friend who used to borrow your homework, but now they're running the company you always dreamed of working for. They're the masters of reinvention, the kings of cool tech, and they've got a work ethic that would make a workaholic blush. They've got Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and a whole host of other companies that are dominating the global marketplace. They're also a major player in the entertainment industry, with K-pop taking the world by storm and Korean dramas becoming must-watch TV. They might be small, but they're mighty, and they're a force to be reckoned with on the global stage. And last but not least, we arrive at Saudi Arabia, a country that's essentially the OPEC MVP, the sultan of swing in the global oil market. Saudi Arabia is like that friend who always seems to have a bottomless bank account, but you're never quite sure how they made their money. They're the guardians of Islam's holiest sites, the rulers of a kingdom built on oil wealth, and they've got a history as rich and complex as a perfectly brewed cup of Arabic coffee. They've got more oil reserves than some countries have sand, and they're not afraid to use that leverage to get what they want. They're a major player in the Middle East, a key ally to the West sometimes, and they're trying to diversify their economy beyond oil with varying degrees of success. They're a country of contradictions, a land of ancient traditions and rapid modernization, and they're trying to navigate a world that's moving away from fossil fuels. So there you have it, folks, the top 10 most powerful countries in the world as of 2025. A motley crew of superpowers, rising stars, and a few wild cards thrown in for good measure. These countries hold significant sway in global politics, economics, and security. As the world continues to evolve, their power will undoubtedly shift, but for now, these nations are at the forefront of shaping international relations and global trends. Who knows what the future holds? Will the US maintain its grip on the top spot, or will China overtake them? Will India become a true global superpower? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the geopolitical landscape is constantly shifting, and it's going to be a wild ride. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube Unlocked channel. We'll be back next week with more deep dives into the issues that matter. So buckle up, subscribe, and get ready for another wild ride.